Stop. Ohio State just claimed 11 roster spots in a single draft. Typically, the NFL Draft is designed to distribute talent. It's a system where professional teams take turns picking the best college players to ensure no single franchise stays at the bottom forever. But in 2026, the schools themselves took control. A few elite programs essentially locked up the most valuable picks, leaving everyone else to fight for the remaining seats. This all played out in Pittsburgh, where the city's North Shore was transformed into the center of the football world for 3 days. But the real story was Ohio State. They arrived with a roster so deep that the draft became an extension of their own trophy room. When the dust settled, 11 Buckeyes had been pulled into the NFL. Even more impressive, 4 of those 11 were first-round selections, identified as the top 32 athletes in the country. This wasn't just a few standouts either. Every single starter from Ohio State's national championship defense was drafted into the professional ranks. It creates a difficult climb for the rest of college football. While hundreds of programs hope to see one player get the call, Ohio State is sending an entire unit to the league at once. The weekend showed that the path to a pro career is narrowing. When a few campuses produce this many players, they become the primary gatekeepers for the NFL's talent pipeline. Beyond the sheer volume of players from one school, the draft took an unexpected turn when teams started looking for their next quarterbacks. The Las Vegas Raiders held the first overall pick, giving them the choice of any player in the country. They used that pick on Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman-winning quarterback who had just led his team to a national title. What makes this pick unique is Mendoza's background. He played for Indiana University, a program that hadn't seen one of its players go in the first round since the 1990s. For the Raiders, the choice is personal. They haven't won a playoff game in 24 seasons, and they are betting that Mendoza is the specific player who can change that trajectory. By picking an Indiana prospect at number 1, the Raiders showed that a team in a long slump will prioritize a player's individual ceiling over the traditional pedigree of a powerhouse school. But the Raiders weren't the only ones making surprise moves at quarterback. At pick number 13, the Los Angeles Rams stepped up. The Rams aren't exactly hurting at the position. They're led by Matthew Stafford, a reigning MVP who has already proven he can win at the highest level. Despite having Stafford, the Rams used that 13th pick on Alabama's Ty Simpson. Simpson is a high upside player, but he only started for 1 season in college. Taking a relatively inexperienced player that high, especially when you already have an MVP, raised plenty of eyebrows. This choice suggests that the Rams are looking past their current window. They're willing to spend a premium pick on a backup today to ensure they have a successor ready for tomorrow. As we look at the final numbers, the sheer scale of the Southeastern Conference becomes clear. They set a new record this year with 87 total players selected. Usually, when the SEC dominates, everyone assumes Alabama is responsible for the majority of the names. But a look at the data shows a tie at the top. Texas A&M matched Alabama's output exactly, with both schools sending 10 players into the draft. That's 10 players from a single campus, a result that places Texas A&M on the same tier as the most famous powerhouse in the sport. The 2026 draft showed us that while pro teams make the picks, the colleges are the ones shaping the league. Between Ohio State's volume and Indiana's top-tier prospect, the schools are the ones driving the conversation. Which team won the draft? Comment your team below.